says completely unprepared. Happy dad, look, happy dad. Right, let's get these microphones in and time caught up with me. I am hoping that you can still hear me. Welcome to Level Up Live Family Friday. I'm your host, Colin Clapp, and good to be here one more time. Yes, it is episode 30. Is my camera working? Is my camera not on? Like, I'm all over the place today. I'm all over the place. That's because I'm so excited. It's Family Friday. Okay, let me just, we're going to get this camera up and running. This is what live video is all about. I told you I was going to level up. I was going to make myself vulnerable, and that is what I am doing. Okay, so forgive me. Oh, yep, so it's Family Friday, episode 30 of Level Up Live. Let me just check we have got a camera going on there. And Is it in? Is it in? Yeah, so if you're new to the show, first things first, let's say hello. Where in the world are you? If you are new to the show, say hi in the chat. Let me know. Are you in lockdown? This show started as Lockdown Level Up Live back on Easter Monday. So been going Monday to Friday ever since then, and yeah, we've had people come on from all over the world. We've had people come on from Mexico, Canada, United States, the UK, New Zealand, our home country. Let me just check what's going on here. I just want to, there we go, should be able to post that. Okay, all right, thank you. We've got a message from Tony. That's nice, Tony. Thank you. Keep up with the lives. Well, that's interesting. Okay, let's get back. And you should see me right here. So, yeah. Okay, hi, I'm Colin Clapp of Parenting Passports and Profits. This is the Level Up Live show, and today is May the 21st. It's Friday, May the 22nd. It is it's Family Friday, and that is when we try and introduce families around the world who are world schooling or living location independent. So even in these strange times, COVID-19, there are still many world schoolers out and about. And I guess I wanted to take this opportunity today to introduce some more families. We've shown you some interviews I've done with other families in previous Fridays, and I usually have I'm zooming in. How's that? I came on to do this show. My leveling up was to see if I could get better at using the software, which allows me to do things like this, which is jump from camera to camera, is to put things on the screen. Ever since I did this, and I was reflecting on this last night in Thoughtful Thursday about what I've learned in 30 days of leveling up. And trying to do live broadcasts, and it's been a very interesting journey. So now I have talked about that, and this is going to be the last one at this time slot. I am going to pause because I'm coming at you from Central Europe, and we're a lockdown in France, and so I've been doing the lives late at night, and they're just having they're having too much of an impact on our family dynamics. So I'm looking, we're never going to do the show live permanently. I wanted to do this as a challenge to myself, and I talked about that all last night. So the show will be taking a break. It will reinvent itself probably as a podcast, which is something I've been trying to do for a long while. And the machinery behind the scenes has been working away, and going live for 30 days has helped me clarify how that's going to look going forward. So I still want to do live video. I still want to create content. I definitely want to be talking to more and more world schooling families. I find that absolutely fascinating, and that's what we're going to talk about tonight. So it's a good one to go out on. But I want to come back in a way that I'm more refreshed than staying up late every night and not necessarily having the nice quality time with my family that I should be, because Ellie's been extremely supportive, and I'm very grateful. So yeah, lockdown, LevelUp Live evolved into LevelUp Live, and LevelUp Live will still exist, but it doesn't need to be a daily show, and there's plenty more we can do with that. So okay, so on with the show. So first of all, who am I? If you've not met me before, I'm Colin Clapp from Parenting Passports and Profits. You can find out a bit more about me and the family over there. The family includes my lovely partner Ellie, who's gone to bed, exhausted as ever, looking after our two girls. Eldest is 6 and the youngest is 16 months. So we have been a world schooling family for, excuse me, dust up my nose. We have been a world schooling family since February 2017. We left our home country of New Zealand on a one-way ticket. I won't bore you with our backstory right now, but you can find out about that back over at parentingpassportsandprofits.com. But we needed a new phase of life, and we went on an adventure not knowing what was in store. Our daughter was 3 1/4 when we left. We did not know what we were doing or how we were going to survive and thrive. We just knew we needed to do something different. So we headed to Southeast Asia on a one-way ticket, and we haven't looked back. And so much so that in early 2019, we went back to New Zealand just to bring baby number 2 in the world. And as soon as she was out happy and healthy, passport was applied for, and we were off again before she was 10 weeks old. So, and she's now 16 months. So we're a slow traveling family. We have no interest in clocking up countries for the sake of it or stamping the passports. We haven't been to that many countries. We prefer to live as locals. We embrace global citizenship, and yeah, the slower the better for us. And the whole journey has been primarily for us, so we're well into our 4th year now, February 2017. So yeah, we're sort of 3 1/4 years now, and the majority of that time, all of that time, was in Southeast Asia, apart from going back to New Zealand for 4 months to have baby number 2. But we also took that opportunity to declutter even more. So we sort of put everything into storage first time around and sold off as much as we possibly could, give away everything else. But we reached a point when enough was enough, and we just whacked it into a storage container and headed away. And we did have a house when we left first time, but we sold that while we were away, and we still had some possessions we needed to go and clear up. So when we went back for the baby, we convinced that we didn't want a home anymore. We got rid of all of our possessions, decluttered even more, shredded everything. There's a big, if you go to our YouTube channel, I've got a big decluttering, downsizing and decluttering playlist, filmed over 4 months. So feel free to dive into that. Which reminds me, if you are not familiar, and so leveling up, being here, making myself available and vulnerable, it's all part and parcel of the world schooling game. But yeah, love some feedback, and if you haven't been here before, remember to give us a thumbs up or even a thumbs down. Just give me some feedback and subscribe to the channel, and just leave a chat. Let us know what you want to learn about. Whether it's around world schooling, location independence, working online, health and fitness. Ellie is a health and fitness professional. You can find out more about her over at elliemcguinness.com. I'll just whack that on the screen. There we go. So yeah, Ellie's an experienced health and fitness practitioner. She's a holistic health coach, 20+ years experience. So head on over there and find out about how Ellie can keep you happy and healthy. Personally, I'm the techie, so I help out with online marketing, done for you services, and if any of that interests you, head over to onlinemarketingdoneforyou.com. Specializing in content optimization, technical SEO, but we do website reviews, and if you need help with automation and anything like that, we can definitely offer a helping hand. So yeah, 3 websites, check them out. and feel free to say hi. We love hearing from you. So yeah, we've embraced world schooling and absolutely love it. And if you go to our Instagram channel, Ellie sort of posts regularly about what that looks like. We are unschoolers. We don't follow any curriculum. So we travel slow. We try to stay healthy and present. We unschool and try to keep everything quite simple, really. And that's us. So I think I was about to say we 3 years, nearly all in Southeast Asia. At the beginning of this year, we headed to the Philippines, so just out staying in Asia, but probably outside the main Southeast Asian countries. But I was very keen to see the Philippines before our Asian adventure came to an end. We had always intended to make Europe a base for a number of years, starting in 2020. But we expected that adventure to start about now, actually, sort of May 2020 was when we were thinking of coming. We hadn't experienced a winter for nearly 4 years, and so we thought arriving in Europe in spring would be a good idea, get acclimatized before we brace ourselves for our first true winter. But Lady Luck and serendipity had other plans for us. And around February, while we're in the Philippines, Ellie came across a house set in France starting in early March. And we applied for it, didn't expect to get it, but like I say, serendipity, Lady Luck, they were looking after us. Lovely retired couple, English retired couple living in France, welcomed us with open arms as a family into their house. In fact, they ditched any other plans to put house sitters in because they wanted a family to live in this house, which we feel very grateful about. So I don't know if I'll just whiz back to that camera there. So I'm in the long room kitchen. I think I just lost my camera. I was just going to show you the kitchen, what happened then. See if I can get it back. If it comes back, I will show you. I think it's just a loose connection. You coming back? Okay. Doesn't seem. Is it playing? Oh yeah, there we go. Look. Okay, so yeah, we are house sitting in rural France. We've got a lovely long kitchen. Ellie's very grateful that we have a big house that we can spread out in a bit, and she can do home cooking and baking, and Ayla is loving that. We also have huge garden, 2 acres of land to look after. It's springtime in Europe, so there's lots of jobs to do. We're doing a few maintenance jobs as well, and just enjoying it. But France is in lockdown and has been for a number of weeks, like the rest of the world. It eased restrictions not this Monday that's just been, but the Monday before, and that was the first time the girls had been out of the house in 6.5, 7 weeks, with me being the only one who'd been out to just really get groceries, and that was it. But there's still not much open, and we are so rural that even if we weren't in this COVID-19 lockdown area, we're very, very isolated. I've talked about this on the shows before, but we have we're in a hamlet of 5 houses. We're about 3k from the nearest village, so there's no infrastructure around us. We've just got rolling fields. There's wind farms behind us, so you can imagine it's very sort of open, flat landscape. Nearest village is 4k away. There is only a small bakery, a boulangerie there that's open 5.5 days a week. There's a library, small tiny library that's open 2 mornings a week for a couple of hours. Looks like there's a church hall, and there's a hairdresser's, and that wasn't open until Monday a week ago. I actually tried to go and get a haircut there, and I couldn't get in. But if you'd seen, I think this is the first time I've done the show without a hat on, because my hair was just getting longer and longer. So anyway, I digress. Let's let's get back over there. Let's get back over there. Actually, just quickly, let me just double check. Remember, if you had just come in, just joining us, remember, let us know where in the world you are. Yeah, are you still in lockdown? Say something in the chat, yay or nay, and or maybe just describe what it looks like for you. So, okay, righty ho. So yeah, So yeah, Family Friday. So I talked a little bit about us. We're a slow traveling family, unschooling family, and our European adventure has started with a baby, or sorry, like I guess a young one, 6 years old, and a toddler, and we've been doing it 3 years. But what about all the other families? How many, I hear you ask? Well, there are, I don't know, I want to say thousands, but maybe there's definitely hundreds. And there's yeah, I guess this is what I wanted to share. And I'm only going to touch on it a little bit. The show will go on for a maximum of an hour. I might only talk for as long as I get tired. But when we first started, we knew of a few families. We knew of a few families. We'd read some books, and we understood like the concept of digital nomad families. We didn't really we hadn't got our head around world schooling or location independence, but this concept of digital nomadism had sort of entered our vocabulary, and we pursued it as a digital nomad family. And we knew a few digital nomad families were out there, but like I said, we didn't know any of them. We just knew of them, and pretty much we've sort of followed our intuition and followed our hearts and heads around Asia, finding places that suited us. And I talked about that on Wednesday in World Schooling Wednesday, about how we choose where we choose to go and what type of accommodation, which was a question posed by Karen King from World Schooling Central. And we'll talk about Karen in a minute. She came on the show last Friday and talked about her family's adventure. They've been full-time traveling since 2016. So there's the Kings, but who else? And this is the point. There are many, and in the first 18 months we bumped into a few and got to know some, but we started to work out that we were really enjoying this lifestyle, but we were missing the more regular community, and that is what led us to Project World School, where we met and enjoyed the company of Lainey and Miro. So Lainey and Miro are a mother and son partnership, and they have been world schooling for 12 years, and they are highly influential in the very down-to-earth mother and son. Got a lot of time for them. Inspiring young man and inspiring lady, Lainey, and they, just to do it for 12 years, and back then people didn't even know what it was, and we feel quite grateful now that we've been able to find and tap into communities, but they wouldn't have had any of that when they started, and so they started it, and so they have built Facebook groups, building community around world schoolers, and those numbers reach into the tens of thousands, and they've reinvented themselves with We Are World Schoolers, and that's a Facebook group where you can join, and there's a lot of people there who dip their toes in the water and sit on the sidelines while they find out about the life, and that's exactly what you should do. It's what we would do when you're trying to find something. You join. You don't have to go and make yourself well known. You just pose questions, or just listen and read up on the questions that have been asked, and invariably people will help you. So let me jump to shared screen mode, because we can let me see if I can. Let me give you Is this where I want to go? Yeah, here we go. Let's move me down there. or up there. And so this is very quite a busy home page. Let's get rid of that and that and so yeah, this is Project World School. And so Project World School, this is the World School Family Summit run by Project World School. I haven't got the projectworldschool.com website up, but if you go there, you will be able to find out more about that. But what happened was we sort of bumped into these guys online and then found out about the summit. And this was back in early 2018. Yep. And we then signed up to go to this Project World School Family Summit in Chiang Mai at the end of 2018, which was when Ellie was about 36 weeks pregnant. We worked out. All we know is that we had to fly home as soon as the summit was over. But we are so glad that we went to this, because this is where we found our tribe, and it was absolutely amazing. And now you probably can't, there's no way of really telling, but if I hover over there, I'm pretty sure that is my daughter sitting on top of, she's one of those three girls sitting on top of that fan. Oh, and there she is, right there. That's my daughter. Yeah, right at the front. I didn't even know that she was there. So, and she would have been coming up for, what would she be coming up for? 5 then? 4? Nearly 5? Anyway, so this is where we met our tribe, and it's just been so awesome to connect with these people and find more and more families that we now call friends and have meaningful relationships with, and can have deep conversations with about, you know, life and whatever. Because invariably people who have taken this decision to be world schooling families, they're outliers. They think differently, and if that's you, if you feel like you're an outlier, you've come to the right place. And there are lots more outliers who will have time for you, because they're not conventional thinkers. So yeah, Project World School or World School Family Summit is one place. Let me. So I talked about. I talked about the first family we probably heard about, and this was the Dennings. And I specifically, I wanted to. Let me digress. So yeah, so last week we had Karen on the show from World Schooling Central. So Karen and husband Cam, they are from Australia, and you can read about them over at worldschoolingcentral.com. And they've been on this journey for about 4 years, and their story's there. And they've just relaunched World Schooling Central, so the website's had a brand new makeover. But if you go to, there's a spotlight. Oh, here we go. I think it'll probably be about you. And Karen shines some spotlight on other world schooling families, so you can see for yourself. Yeah, could this be you? Okay, I'm not quite sure, but there's definitely resources. World Schooling Spotlight. Here we go. And here we go. There's a number of families. Meet the Kings, the Caponets, the Walmsley Mamone family. We personally don't know these. I've interacted with Kate from the Greens, but the Normans we interact with quite a lot on Instagram. I haven't personally met them yet, but we look forward to the day we do. And but we did meet Karen while we were in Bali, and it's been awesome to stay in touch with her and see what she's doing. So as you can see, she's shining the spotlight on other families, a bit like we're doing on our website when we can, but just, you know, the families are out there. There's another family who've been doing it a long while, quite well known, and they also have a family summit, and that's the Pierces. And I wanted to mention the Pierces, not specifically because they've also got their own family summit, but although we haven't met them personally, we have employed their eldest daughter. So that's this young lady over here on the right, Emily. She's a video editor. I don't know if she's featured on this page, Jennifer. There she is, Emily. So Emily has done some video editing for us. I talked about the playlist earlier on that we have done around downsizing and decluttering, and Emily helped me massively with the video editing under her banner of Crystal Cut Studios. So I've heard her on interviews, I've talked to her personally, and she's such an inspiring young lady that is just a wonderful example of what unschooling can do. And you know, everything we hear about the Pierces is they're a lovely family. So although we haven't met them personally. Another well-known family. So this was the family I mentioned earlier. We haven't. So I thought I wanted to introduce the well-known ones because you can find all these things in different ways. But there's two families that are very well known, and I wanted to mention these, give these guys a special shout out because both of these two families I'm about to tell you about, they have 7 kids. So yeah, I think they both have 7 kids. So the first is the Dennings, and you can read all about them at worldschoolfamily.org. And so we haven't met either of these two families, but we know of them. But the Dennings were the ones that were mentioned in the book that put us onto digital nomadism, which wasn't specifically around families, but the Dennings were mentioned as a family, as an example. So the book was The Suitcase Entrepreneur by Natalie Sisson, coincidentally a Kiwi. And it was reading that book in Christmas sort of 2016 that opened our eyes to this was a possibility. So we read that book and we was like, that we could do that. And when we saw that a family was out there living this digital nomad lifestyle, and I think that's how we, you know, I'm pretty sure from memory, I'm doing this from memory, I'm pretty sure it was the Dennings. So they were they were the only family mentioned in this book, but it was then that we realized, oh, families do this, and everything has unfolded from there. So another family that are very well known in these circles are so if you can see my screen, the Dennings starting in 2007, and another well-known family are the Sundance family, Carr and Katie Sundance, and they have, look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, maybe, do they have 8 or 9? But definitely 8. Now the website I think is a bit out of date. I struggle to find what looks like an up-to-date website. I'm pretty sure this is not being used anymore, but I could be wrong. But Carr and Katie, German family, lovely story, and they are very prominent on YouTube and podcasting. And if you Google anything, you'll find plenty of articles, and you'll find them on social media. So I don't know how much they share content right now, but they are well known. You know, they've spoken at summits, and I really wanted to introduce those two, not because that we've met them personally, but I wanted to show you that this isn't, you don't have to, you know, if you can do it with 6 to 8, 6, 7 kids, you can do it. Most people can do it, and it's just a case of jumping in. And the Dennings and the Sundance family are an example of families that have just jumped in and have made things happen. And with well over 10 years of world schooling under their belt, they've got, you know, they're in a position to help others. So, you know, if you need help, I mean, we're always happy to help. And provide a listening ear, but these guys maybe, you know, you may find that these guys can do more for you if you want to get off the couch. Another well-known blogger in this space is the Long family. I don't know if they're still traveling, but World Travel Family, Living Differently Facebook group. This is a very well established blog. It's very well SEO'd as well. So yeah, you can find out plenty about world schooling from the Long family. So I'm not too sure, but they well on the road over 5 years. I'm pretty sure they've been going longer than that. Yeah. So, but yeah, they've got a Facebook group, Living Differently. Head over there to find out more about them. But the website now is more sort of making money from advertising and SEO. So I don't know how much about the family, you'll find out. But yeah. So who else have we got? Then wanted to introduce you to these guys. Now this is Cake and Eat It. This is Brett and Leanne, who we have personally met, an Australian couple. We met them while we were in Bali. Now, unfortunately, there's not much on their site about them, but they are lovely to talk to, and yeah, and they've got a lot of resources around homeschooling education, and they're currently back in Australia, but they've done a lot of RVing, which reminds me, you know, if RVing is your thing, just Google RVing world schooling, or head to YouTube and look for the same sort of thing, and you will find many world schooling families. So you can go over to Instagram and search for world schooling, and you will find heaps of world schooling families. So we've introduced you to the 5 world explorers. Let me just come back there. There we go. Yeah, if you just Google world schoolers, and you will find those families. So, and if you Google world schooling bloggers, you will find more families. So I'm not going to talk for a huge amount of time tonight. I just wanted to introduce you to other world schooling families and to let you know that they are out there. And I do encourage you specifically to head to, have I got a way of showing you? So if we go to World Schooling Central, here we go. So here you go, World Schooling Central on Facebook. Encourage you to join that group there. Let me just share the screen again. So this is the World Schooling Central site. I just linked to their Facebook group. Join this group, and the other one to look into is the We Are World Schoolers Facebook group, which is the one behind here. Can we get to the We Are World Schooling Resources? Will we get to the Facebook group from these guys? World Schooling Hubs. What is World Schooling? So much information. A list of online world schooling communities. Looking for, there we go, We Are World Schoolers. That's the one I wanted. So head on over to here and join that one as well. So yeah, We Are World Schoolers and World Schooling Central, both very active groups, well over 5,000 I think in both those groups. And I know there are other world schooling groups. I'm not a fan of the biggest, but there are, if you dive into these particular Facebook groups, they are very welcoming, very supportive, very empathetic. And like everything, when humans get involved in large numbers, there's always the odd spat online. But for the most part, we find these groups very good places to be. If we need any information or want to help others, we can give and take in equal measure in these groups. And so if you have any questions, you will find people who are just starting out. You will find people who have been doing it for years and years. Which reminds me, I'll go to the World Schooling Spotlight, because if you have always wondered about how do world schoolers get to university, then I encourage you to go and meet the Green family. So Kate Green is a doctor, and I believe she's a doctor of education, or professor, there we go, professor in education. And it's, we haven't personally met the Greens, but knowing, so the Greens children are all much older now, and they are examples of long-term world schoolers. Look at that, each with 5 children, each born in a completely different location around the world. Mum, Kate, is a professor in education and has world schooled all 5 kids with exceptional results. And what she means by that is nearly all of her children have gone out into the world, in the workplace, and via university. So there is a pathway from unschooling, world schooling to university, and don't underestimate how that can be done. And if you want to know specifically, get in touch with the Greens and talk to Kate, because she will be able to educate you around that. So yeah, lots of inspiring stories out there, lots of families that you can connect with, and in our experience, all very approachable. And some are more busy than others, but they're on all continents. I was going to say all. I don't know. I was going to come up with a number, but yeah, maybe not Antarctica, but they're definitely scattered around the world. They speak many languages, but they're all, in my eyes, they're all global citizens. And like I said, they, by definition of choosing this lifestyle, they are outliers and free thinkers, and yet totally, they embrace multiculturalism, they embrace global citizenship, and I personally just find all of that absolutely fascinating. So I think that's a really positive way to end things. So let me just jump back, and I want to come back. I want to come back over here. So so this has been Family Friday on Friday the 22nd of May. I've introduced you to a bunch of world schooling hubs, and where you can find out and meet some more families. I thoroughly encourage you to get involved. If you want to reach out personally, by all means, do so under any way you can. If you subscribe to the channel, you'll find out more what's coming down the pipe. We are going to be doing more video, even if we're not going to be doing lives in exactly the same way. If you head on over to here, like I say, on our homepage, you should be able to find some links in the call to action section around our social media channels, and so feel free to reach out. You can find us active on Facebook and Instagram mainly. I have got a Twitter profile, but I'm not really a Twitter man. So, but yeah, you can find me on LinkedIn too, and yeah, reach out. We will always be happy to answer questions and see if we can offer an empathetic or advisory ear, and would love to do so. So yeah, so that's it. Family Friday is under wrap. Reach out to those families as well if you want to find out more. Get stuck into their blogs. This life is totally doable, however COVID-19 pans out. People like us are not stopping anytime soon. We consider ourselves world schoolers. We're a world schooling family, and we will world school in whatever shape or form, and we will roll with the punches. It is not a one size fits all. It is not. It's not for the faint-hearted. You've got to have some thick skins. You've got to be adaptable and flexible. It is anything but plain sailing. But what is plain sailing in life? But it's certainly an adventure, and we love it. And we will be out there on the world schooling road. And if we meet you, we look forward to it. We look forward to all the new friends we're going to make, and we look forward to reconnecting with the friends we have made, and we look forward to making the world a better place. And that's what leveling up is all about. Can we make the world a better place today than it was yesterday? All right, on that positive note, I'm Colin Clapp, parentingpassportsandprofits.com. I will see you on the road sometime soon. Okay, take care now. Bye-bye.